not only are we offering something fun, but we get to see a lot of fun people and have them come back because they want to see us too. I like that.
This has a very Cheers feel to me.
I promise this is the hottest episode we will ever tape. This is why. This is why. And this is why. Larchmere Fireworks is really this hot. They bring a lot of fun and creativity to the arts of glass blowing and blacksmithing. The owners have a passion for what they do, and they genuinely enjoy sharing their skills and expertise with the community. I sat down with one of the co-owners, Tina Halderman. Tina shared with me how she and co-owner Cassidy Anderson turned their passion into a community-based business. She also shared some insight into her personal journey as an entrepreneur.
I'm Tina Halderman, and my business is Larchmere Fireworks.
Tina, what product or service does Larchmere Fireworks provide?
We offer glass blowing and blacksmithing classes for beginners. We have children's classes for most ages. We offer combo classes so you can try a little bit of both, or we've got some in-depth classes so you can really hone your skills. This is our hot shop. We do blacksmithing on our anvil here, and we also do glass blowing. So we have our furnace here that's on all the time at about 2200 degrees. So that's molten glass in there that you'll dip a rod into to manipulate into your piece. This one you'll use to reheat your piece.
When a client does come out, how does the day start? From once they ring, once they come into the shop, what takes place next?
Well, they sanitize their hands, they put on some safety glasses, and our teacher Casey will work with them to gather glass on the end of a rod and then to add color, whatever colors they want. We've got lots of colors to choose from, so you can, customize your pieces, and then the teacher just walks you through the piece, step by step.
Every time you come back to the heat, you're going to place it right here on the stand. Use this as a guide. Go ahead and ease that straight in. Yeah, right there. Slow, steady turning. This is the only art form I know where you can't set it down.
We want you to do the work and to feel the heat coming off of that glass.
Some of the pieces, just looking around, are really, really cool, and I don't know if I could.
You can do it.
Some of the things.
You can do it.
How did you learn this? So this is kind of a unique trade to get into. How did you start?
I met someone who knew a group of guys that had a studio on the west side, and I became pretty much a self-made intern there, where I just started showing up and sweeping floors, doing whatever I had to learn, and they let me learn as I could there. I was a single mom at the time, so I didn't really have a lot of time or money to put into it, but I was able to work my way in enough to get the skills that later would translate into my own business.
The blacksmithing, could you tell me a little bit about how that became a part of the business and what's involved in it?
Yeah, so the blacksmithing part sort of fell into our laps. My partner was interested in metal and had a leaning towards that, and through a mutual friend that I have that's an artist, metal fabricator in Collinwood, we met with an older gentleman who was a blacksmith master who was looking for an apprentice. He wanted to share his information, at this point in his life. And so my partner Cassidy met with him, and his name was Art Wolf. He was one of the founders of the Western Reserve Artist Blacksmith Association. Cassidy learned so much from Art that we brought that into our studio as a way to bring that to the people. Glass blowing was already so hard to find for the public that, adding blacksmithing was just something so unique, and glass and metal just goes together so well.
When a student comes in or when a student signs in to do a class, when they get there, what takes place?
So in their first class, they're going to be making an S-hook. It sounds very basic, but they'll use tapering, twisting, all kinds of different techniques, heating the metal and using the anvil and hammer to create this piece. They'll have ways that they can personalize it, but that first piece, when you're done with that, you're so proud of that. It doesn't seem like much, but when you get in there and you really start working the metal, you see how it's not as easy as it looks.
What does it take to build a business like this, though?
Well,
the good and the bad, right?
Either you have a huge chunk of working capital or for us, living and working in the same space has really been the thing that saved our business, especially during COVID. We would not have survived had we had to pay 2 sets of rent, 2 sets of everything. Having a live workspace really is an ideal situation for our business. Living and working in a space has turned out to be a really fun aspect of our job. So if you're struggling with the location, find a live workspace in an area that is zoned for it, and you're just automatically given the foot traffic.
Right. The area that you guys are set up in here in Larchmere is really an excellent area for foot traffic, from what I can tell. I've come here. There are some of the restaurants and so forth that I've been in. And like I said, I've been here before, and a few of the other shops in the block. And from what I can tell, they're still building. I saw a lot of apartments being built and so forth. So, a location like this, how did you come about finding a location like this? And again, the way it's zoned as well is, I'm sure, very helpful. How did you select this location?
Larchmere has been one of my favorite neighborhoods since I've lived in Cleveland. I raised my kids just over the ravine in Cleveland Heights, and this was a neighborhood we've frequented often. So when my partner and I were looking for places to open a business, this was naturally one of the first places we looked. We did find another building initially that was just a building, and then luckily this house with the full garage in the back became available to us, and we jumped on it. We knew this was the perfect fit.
What gave you the confidence, though, to start the business, not just be a part of an organization, but to start your own?
I grew up watching my parents run their own businesses, and to me it never felt like it was that out of my reach. I know my dad would have loved me to take more business classes, which probably will be in my future. But overall, I think the want to just be my own boss came from them. I just sort of took something that was there and was like, I can do this, and I can make my own job out of this. And that's kind of where that came from, was that I wasn't looking for a business to open, but when this happened in my life, it just felt right and it fell into place.
What does this business mean to you and to your family?
Having my own business means I have freedom to be with my family when I want to be, to schedule around whatever I need to schedule around, and to always make sure they come first. I raised 5 kids. They're grown up now, and it's a new chapter for my life. They're still a part of it. I mean, they're still my kids, so I'm still always going to help them, and I think they like to see that I've got something going for myself too.
Where did you find the time to be able to kind of start your own business? Because you weren't just working somewhere, you were building the business and doing the work.
Well, I was starting this business as my youngest were in high school. So we were at a point where they didn't need me as much, so I could put a little bit more time into the business. Before that, there was no option for me to have time to do anything like this. I spent all of my time parenting. 3 of my children were adopted and came with some issues, so that I spent a lot of time, helping them.
I don't know if you have heard, but they did make a movie about you. They call it Wonder Woman, just so you're aware of being able to do all of those things. You mentioned kind of the issue of time, being able to kind of set up and get going. Were there other areas that you found to be a challenge when setting up this business?
Gosh, what wasn't a challenge?
Yes.
We're still in our first 5 years. It's still challenging. So we're, at first it was the momentum, just getting the momentum going. And we were really doing great And then COVID hit, so took a step back. But this year, I think we're offering something that's safe for people to do in a time where there's so little to leave your house for. So we're trying to give people something that they can do that they feel safe doing and they know they're safe doing.
How do customers find you guys here at Larchmere Fireworks?
Well, we ask people. Probably about half of them are finding us on Facebook or Instagram. The other half are just searching for glass blowing, and then they read the reviews and then they find us. Sometimes it's word of mouth. So yesterday we did a group of kids and their mom posted pictures, and I've got 4 messages from other moms that want their kids to do it too. We pride ourselves on being personable. We want people to engage with us. So we like to have conversations with our students. We find out where they're from, if they've traveled into Cleveland, how they're enjoying it. We really want to have a rapport with people that is more than just student teacher. So I've had so many students come through where they left and it felt like, oh, they're friends. And they come back and they're like, oh, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. And it's like, your friends are coming back. And I love that about this business, is that not only are we offering something fun, but we get to see a lot of fun people and have them come back because they want to see us too. I like that.
This has a very Cheers feel to me. What advice would you give people considering starting a business?
Get some working capital. Get some capital up front. That's definitely helpful.
If you like this, please make sure to like and subscribe. And please don't forget to share with at least 6 people.